and this is Command & Conquer 3, Kane's Wrath. Have a 1 versus 1 for you today on Tournament Airstrip. Have Firestorm as the green Scrin, and as the orange GDI is BikeRush owns. I don't think I mentioned it, but this is Kane's Wrath patch 1.03, not 1.02 plus, which is, I think, up until recently, most people have been doing 1.02 plus, and I've been taking a look at some of the 1.03 stuff. Not honestly that I really know the difference in a practical sense. Just balance changes, really, but I couldn't tell you, unfortunately, too much about the pros and cons of each particular patch, just that there's 2 community patches out there, and that this one takes place on 1.03. So anyway, a pretty standard opening so far from BikeRush. Just got that refinery into a right nearby war factory and is pumping out some of those harvesters. Same thing over here for Mr. Firestorm. That portal did just get sold off, and I think I missed it, unfortunately, but Firestorm won a little combat over here for the Central Tiberium Spike, which he claimed. Now, of course, as the claimer of that Central Tiberium Spike, Firestorm does get a little bit of extra cash, plus that really fast tick there. You see it's like 10 every second of resources, which will potentially help in the late game if it survives that long. Really standard play from BikeRush so far, moving his Conyard down here to expand to his natural second Tiberium patch. And slightly slower, we have the same thing happening for Firestorm. Nothing too fancy yet from either player. We do have a couple of pit bulls coming out, just one so far, possibly for a scout. And there's that power plant and a little migration of a harvester. Pit bull coming out. I don't think it's going to try to kill that Tiberium Spike. The one pit bull's not going to do too much there. I think he's just scouting to see if and when Firestorm has expanded. Looks like a Seeker out for Firestorm and a Shardwalker, Gunwalker. Looks like they're spotting that lone pit bull, and that pit bull is not going to be long for the world, I don't think, with 2 Seekers and a Gunwalker attacking it. There it goes, taken out handily. Meanwhile, BikeRush is continuing to expand his production, actually ahead, I think, of Firestorm at this point, but Firestorm with a pretty significant little early game force coming out here. Seekers are a decent Tier 1 anti-tank vehicle, and Gunwalkers, of course, murder infantry in the face. Looks like buzzers being taken out there, and then that rifleman squad, there we go. Starting to get predators out right now, BikeRush is. Not sure what that watchtower is going to do, but probably nice to have. Oh, and we have an airfield and an Orca Strike immediately coming out. Let's take a look and see where they're going before we check in with Firestorm's little force. Did not manage to kill that harvester, nor, of course, the refinery. Attenuated force fields out. There's Tier 2. So this is going to make this little attack even more formidable than it already was, and BikeRush not really in a good position with these predators actually pulling them back. So could lose a couple harvesters here if this attack goes as intended. Actually going for the Tiberium Spike first, it looks like. Nope. Very quick reaction from BikeRush, pulling those harvesters back. May lose one. There it goes. I don't think it had anything in it. But still, that's pretty worthwhile from this attack. Not even losing, maybe losing one Seeker. I don't know that one died, but really well played attack there. Checking in real quick. We have Tier 3 up. And the first tripod coming out. Portal rebuilt. Mechapeds, what? So this is not great for BikeRush. Just getting tier 3 out, researching something, probably railguns. But Mechapeds are fast, hard to catch up with, and they can be really nasty if you can't kill the head. Not doing much with it yet, but definitely annoying. Actually, I think weren't there 2? Did one die? That would be a pretty big loss. Let's see. We have more attacks going on here from Firestorm, keeping BikeRush off balance, keeping him on his toes. Of course, the railgun upgrade for the Predator tank is going to make this a lot less effective than it was with the attenuated force fields. This army is going to go down really quick. And we do have AP ammo out for the APCs as well. Lightning Spike, mostly just there to be a bit of a minor nuisance, goes down almost immediately. I want to know where that Mechapede is. Where did it go? Back in base. Signal transmitter out for Firestorm. He's not messing around, going for the high tech, going for the big guns. Wormhole? What? Where's the other end of that? What? Mastermind taking over that tier 3 and either forcing a kill or a sell-off. The wormhole getting that Mastermind over there to allow it to take over the building. Insane play. I love it by Firestorm. BikeRush now really in a bad position. Cannot get his tier 3 back anytime quickly. That's going to be really hard to deal with. The drone ship moving out. We do have well-timed expansion still ahead of Firestorm here, but this tier 2 army, as big as it is going to have trouble with these tripods. There are quite a lot of them now. But it's going to make it hard for this drone ship to set up a harvesting operation out here. Growth Accelerator actually coming out from Firestorm. Tiberium Spike going down. That has been a big boon for Firestorm. BikeRush, this is a large tier 2 army, really huge, but the tripods do have shields, and we do have a stasis, so part of that army is cut off. I'm really not sure who I'm thinking is going to pull out and get the better of this. It looks like it's not going to be BikeRush. Firestorm, those tripods are just a little too much for the tanks. That Tiberium Spike, I think... Oh, and the Mechapede makes a return. Coming up behind. Actually, the Pitbulls killed it. Poor Mechapede. Yep, there are enough tripods here. All of those tanks go down. There's just not a lot where look BikeRush is reduced to Pitbulls and then taps out. So, quick little match. Some interesting stuff going on. Wow, look at that. Look at the army numbers. Look at that. Look. No, army numbers. Look at that. That is the power of tier 3 right there. It's crazy. But Firestorm was a little bit ahead in terms of structures because I think he was ahead in terms of resources. No. Actually, even with a tip spike, BikeRush was keeping ahead of Firestorm until right at the end. So it was just that tier 3 that Firestorm really locking BikeRush out of his ability to get tier 3. So instead of mammoths versus tripods, it was just tripods versus that tier 2 army. Even a couple of mammoths, like 2 mammoths, probably would have turned that around. So well played by both players. Really fun, short, little, quick match. You got to see Mechapeds. We got to see so actually really good harass by Firestorm. Anyway, this has been Wayward, and this has been Kane's Wrath 1.03. Thanks for watching.